On August 2nd, 2024, the interstate turned into a heavyweight Mopar showdown. An Arkansas trooper locked his radar on a Dodge Charger, treating the shoulder like a drag strip at a blistering 121 miles per hour. Knowing he needed every ounce of horsepower to close the gap, the trooper buried the gas pedal in his own patrol Charger. The pursuit instantly devolved into a brutal street race, with the fleeing driver launching over traffic islands and blowing through intersections just to see which V8 would back down first.
.49 southbound, we continued. It's got Louisiana tags. Notify Louisiana State Police. We're moving quick. Louisiana 670 George John Ida. Show me 1037. It's gonna be a hard time getting TBI on this one. You got a return on that 28?
I've got Louisiana on the phone.
11 southbound, speeds 125.
I'm supposed to hear the curve.
1038 at the 13.
As the pursuit locked in at triple digits, it became terrifyingly clear that the suspect wasn't just fast, he was calculated. Every time the trooper moved in for a pit, the driver would aggressively bait him, slamming the brakes to force an overshoot before slingshotting back into the lead.
Come on. He's still southbound. I'm 1038. He's still southbound, passing the 1 now.
The chess match reached a boiling point at 118 miles per hour. When the trooper finally locked in for the pit, Xavier Javawan Wright decided to strike first. Turning his 4,000-pound Charger into a battering ram, he violently smashed straight into the patrol cruiser, nearly killing the trooper on impact. The massive hit sent the cruiser tearing through a steel cable barrier, eventually stopping directly in the oncoming interstate lanes. Thank God there was no high-speed traffic flying toward the crippled cruiser, or it would have been a completely different story. Wright kept running, but was later found crashed out across the Louisiana state line, earning a stack of violent felonies. His hit-and-run stunt just bought him up to 15 years in prison. Some people buy a 700-horsepower Hellcat and instantly think they're a good driver. Fake confidence, big engine, until the GSP boys show up and give us another highlight reel. On October 22nd, 2022, a trooper on SR 166 spotted a black Dodge Charger Hellcat with an illegal tag frame. The driver slowed, waved like he was cool, then floored it.
Black Hellcat, we're going 166 eastbound into low. 166 eastbound into low. Black Hellcat, it's got red wheels. Are you serious? Get out of the way! Still westbound.
The Hellcat pushed nearly 150 miles per hour, but the GSP trooper stayed glued to him. Then the driver made his worst mistake. The interstate was his best chance to keep distance, but he bailed off and dove into narrow city streets, where that 700 horsepower advantage suddenly didn't help much.
Alright, we're on Fairville Road now. Fairville northbound, Fairville northbound. Fairville Road headed northbound from Barge, crossing Mountain Road now. Fairville passing Ingdale. Still northbound Fairville. Wrong side the road, still Fairville Road. GSP helicopters
He's coming to a stop, and stand by when they come to a stop right here, but he's backing up.
The GSP trooper destroyed the Hellcat with a clean pit and ended the run right there. Looks like leaving the interstate plan didn't work. The driver, Mr. Powell, was taken into custody and transported to Grady Trauma Center with minor injuries. In Georgia, felony fleeing alone carries 1 to 5 years, and that was before the rest of the charges even started stacking up. Nashville is known for country music, but at 1:30 a.m., 22-year-old Carlos Esquivel decided it needed more tire smoke. Spotted tearing up Korean Veterans Boulevard in a silver Challenger, he treated the city like a private drift pad. When police tried to pull him over, Esquivel didn't just run, he hopped onto I-24 and started performing donuts right in front of the officer's cruiser.
21 December 201, and I'm Carlos off of Loon Drive in Nashville. And I saw it about
Esquivel's performance peaked when he accelerated against traffic and slammed his Challenger head-on into a patrol car, injuring an officer. He ditched the wreck but surrendered hours later, trading his keys for charges like aggravated assault on an officer and felony evading. In Tennessee, these charges carry a potential sentence of 3 to 15 years in prison. Between the human smuggling in Texas and this failed drift session, it's clear these cars are way more powerful than the brains behind the wheel. On January 24, 2024, a Dodge Charger caught the attention of an Arkansas trooper on the Interstate 40, thanks to a dark-tinted cover hiding an expired license plate that belonged to a completely different vehicle. When the trooper hit his lights, the driver played along, pulling over just long enough to lure him out of his cruiser. But the moment his boots hit the pavement, the compliant act was over. The pursuit turned into a high-speed suicide mission as Morrow treated the narrow shoulders like a private passing lane to bypass traffic.
Going the wrong way. Trying to turn around and go the wrong way.
Going the wrong way.
5 where you at? Or 2, 1 where you at?
When the trooper moved in for a pit, she executed a desperate brake check to force him past her before pulling a violent U-turn.
55 going the wrong way towards, back towards Mound City. I'm looking at him, he's driving in the fast lane wrong way, took Mound City. I'm driving on the shoulder, trying to follow behind him. Looks like he may have wrecked. He wrecked out. Black male, green t-shirt, running across 40. Black male, green t-shirt, dreads, running across 40.
10-4, I'm on 40.
Morrow's high-speed gamble hit a wall of cold steel when she slammed head-on into a semi-truck at full tilt. Despite the violent crunch of metal, she managed to scramble out of the wreckage and attempt a final desperate sprint on foot. It didn't work. Kyla Morrow was quickly apprehended and slapped with a massive 17-charge indictment, including aggravated assault and felony fleeing.
Don't reach. Don't reach. Quit reaching. Know what you got in there?
Stop reaching.
Not only trying to look at the drove, trying to make sure you ain't got nothing to kill me with. Is there anything in that pocket over there?
In Arkansas, this level of recklessness carries a potential sentence of 6 to 21 years. On October 4th, 2025, troopers pulled over a black Dodge Charger RT tied to a Walmart theft on MLK bypass. With a car like that, you can outrun most troopers, and this driver, Kavana Hampton, clearly believed it. But here's the question. If you can afford a Charger RT, why are you stealing energy drinks from Walmart? Charger was doing pretty good. He built a huge gap on the interstate, and the trooper was struggling to even get close. But pushing the gas and handling a curve aren't the same thing. As soon as he hit a sharp curve on the exit, he lost control and totaled the Charger on the spot. The driver ran off on foot, leaving his injured passenger behind. It didn't last long. He was quickly found and taken into custody. He now faces felony fleeing with injury, fleeing on foot, and multiple charges, putting him at 5 to 10 years in prison. The Dodge Charger is a total magnet for heat. It's officially one of the most stolen cars in the U.S., which is why cops always give them a second look. On March 15, 2022, a Georgia State Patrol trooper spotted this red 392 with window tint so dark it was practically a rolling blackout. When the lights went on, 26-year-old Antoine Pierce decided to floor it. Despite having 485 horsepower at his disposal, his driving skills were bottom tier.
I think I ran with 4 more times. I left more time. Sure to go more time to our
After his quality parking job against the pole, Antoine Pierce tried to walk away like he was just out for a morning stroll. The GSP trooper wasn't buying the act. When Pierce refused to lay down, he got a taste of the taser. He actually tried to pull the probes out of his skin before a second zap finally hit the off switch. Inside the wrecked Dodge, police found a silver revolver and a backpack stuffed with prescription pills. It turns out this wasn't his first rodeo. He'd already been busted for fleeing just 2 months prior. Even at the precinct, Antoine Pierce couldn't stop the theatrics, kicking doors and yelling at officers. He bragged that he would be back on the streets in no time, and claimed that the next time police saw him, he would be behind the wheel of a Trackhawk. It was a bold statement for a guy who had just lost a fight to a stationary object. On May 8th, 2021, a GSP trooper spotted this Challenger near McDaniel Street, a car that had already embarrassed multiple other units earlier that day. The trooper was determined not to be the next one left looking silly, but as soon as he pulled into the lot, the driver pinned the throttle and dove onto Interstate 20 West. open interstate was the ultimate sweet spot for the Challenger, where it simply gapped the trooper and left his patrol car looking like it was standing still. Realizing his cruiser was physically outmatched by those 485 horses, the officer had to kill his sirens and concede the win as the suspect vanished into the Atlanta traffic. Sometimes the bad guys actually pull a fast one. The driver eventually ditched the car at 212 Harwell Place and melted into the neighborhood before the perimeter could close. While the state added another Challenger to the impound lot, the person behind the wheel walked away with a clean getaway. On May 9, 2025, a white Challenger became a rolling hazard in Webb County, Texas. The driver, 20-year-old Humberto Misael Garcia, was busy smuggling 4 people through Laredo when TXDPS troopers tried to end his trip. Garcia treated the neighborhood like a racetrack, hitting 100 miles per hour before slamming into a wall.
Vehicle just turned on into Monterrey at 1050 against the wall.
The impact sent the hood flying open, but instead of quitting, he kept the 485 horsepower engine pinned. He spent the next several miles driving completely blind, with the mangled hood pinned against his windshield.
It's on the stop sign of McPherson. It's just 1050 Laredo. 1050 with the vehicle. It's an EMS. Driver's wearing red shorts, white shirt.
Watching Humberto Misael Garcia navigate was painful enough when he had a clear view, but now imagine him trying to handle all that power with a face full of metal. Predictably, he blew through a red light and plowed into an innocent driver, finally killing the car. Garcia tried to ditch the scene on foot, but a taser deployment quickly ended his sprint.
Just 1050 driver wearing red shorts.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around!
¡Ya, carnal! ¡Mira, güey, me lastimaste, güey!
Troopers pulled 4 illegal immigrants from the wreckage, while Humberto Misael Garcia was hauled off to face a laundry list of felonies. On May 5, 2023, Trooper Spencer Morris spotted a Dodge Charger in West Memphis, the same car that had already caused problems earlier in Little Rock by outrunning 2 ASP units. The moment the driver realized ASP was behind him, he didn't wait around. He pushed gas and instantly ran it up to 120 miles per hour.
1037, 55 southbound. We're passing MLK right now. It's going to be a scat pack or a hellcat or something. Right now we're light traffic, speed's 120, passing on the shoulder.
This driver clearly knew what he was doing. He kept pushing, touching 130 miles per hour, cutting through heavy traffic, and threading past semi-trucks with precision. At one point, he scraped the concrete barrier at 130 miles per hour, almost destroying the Charger, but somehow kept it moving. With traffic stacked, the trooper had no safe or legal options.
Looks like we're going to get stopped in traffic. Stand by.
I'm coming up from behind. I'm at the floor.
Black male driver, orange hoodie.
Still calling traffic.
They just crossed the state line. I attempted a TBI on him, unsuccessful. I've slowed my patrol speed down 55, wearing Tennessee right now.
B29 the road. Okay, go ahead, 1022.
Okay. We're in Memphis right now. I'm still behind him in heavy traffic. If you can get Memphis PD on the phone. It's a SRT Hellcat, Paul David Lincoln, 6999, Texas.
We'll make contact with Memphis.
He's continuing on to crime. Still on crime right now.
Once the road finally opened up, the Charger went all in. At 130 miles per hour, the driver blew through a red light, and that was the moment Trooper Morris realized this wasn't the day. He wasn't trained or prepared to die on that road, so he backed off. The driver kept going, crossed state lines, and was never found. For 3 agonizing miles, a Dodge Challenger was the most frustrating vehicle on the interstate, casually camping in the passing lane at a sluggish 65 miles per hour. But the moment an Arkansas trooper hit his lights for a routine stop, that slow-moving roadblock woke up. The driver flicked on his right turn signal to fake a polite surrender, using the brief hesitation to line up a massive launch. He pinned the throttle to the floorboard and vanished, forcing the trooper to push his cruiser to a terrifying 139 miles per hour, just to keep the fleeing vehicle in his sights. At 120 miles per hour, the trooper executed a perfect pit, sending the Challenger into a violent spin that ended only when it shredded itself against the cable barriers. Gordon scrambled out the passenger side to finish the escape on foot, but he didn't get far. After a chaotic wrestling match in the grass, the trooper and a brave bystander finally pinned the resisting suspect. Driver Dontarius Gordon was hauled off to jail, facing 3 to 10 years in prison.